My name is Erica Kochi, and I co-lead UNICEF's Innovation team in New York. So the work that we're doing really revolves around helping our country offices and the governments that they work with do their work better. So we will often bring together an interdisciplinary team, a designer, a software engineer, project manager, maybe an accountant, who knows, to address a challenge that they've given us. So, for example, a lot of the challenges that we have revolve around data. Our country offices and the governments feel like they can't make the right decisions based on the very old data that they have access to. And they need better data from the field to make better decisions and to target their resources. So we work a lot with mobiles because they're everywhere. And so we have an initiative or a partnership called Rapid SMS, which is an open source mobile framework upon which different applications are built. So these applications can be, one message all out to groups. It could have an email functionality. It could be, a mapping thing. Essentially, it's ways of getting information from the field to the government, to UNICEF, and also getting information back to the field as well that's useful and actionable. So we have about 8 countries that have deployed Rapid SMS so far, and we have other partners that are also using it for their work. So the needs we're meeting are really sort of the information gap that exists in many countries, and so we're trying to fill it in creative ways. Our target audience, our primary audience really is the end user, so frontline workers, so frontline health workers, teachers, anyone who sort of helps the community and services the community on a regular basis. The other sort of our primary audience is also the government. How do we enable them to make better decisions, make better use of their investments in communities? And in terms of the challenges that we've faced, well, one of the biggest challenges is when you're working at such a large scale or national scale, is things tend to move a lot more slowly than you do if you're working, with a very small group of people on a sort of small pilot. So some of the challenges really have been to try to keep the same sort of momentum around a project, yet with involving many different stakeholders, whether from the government, from civil society, from other UN partners. Another challenge we face is very much looking at sort of many of our government counterparts are, while the young people will be using technology in a country, many of our government counterparts are not as familiar with the use of social media, the use of mobile applications. So bringing them on board, while obviously a very interesting challenge, is also takes time and to make them feel comfortable with new technology. To continue, really, I think that there's a couple of things. One reason that this conference here has been brought together is to develop and really build a community, an open source community in the Middle East and North Africa region. I think there's a lot of very big players, such as the IBMs, Microsofts in the region, and I think most software engineers, if they're skilled, go and work for them. So how do we build, a homegrown, local software community that instead of selling just a product, is selling their services and selling, good services? There's no reason to develop a software application, every time. We might as well share the code and, have a better service to service the countries and the government.